Let's talk currencies. Hi, I'm John McNeil, and this is the Invest Strong Network. Welcome. So I felt that the best way to really describe the global currency structure is to put it in a medieval Game of Thrones type format, right? Now, in this format, King Dollar reigns supreme. Yes, King Dollar is literally the coin of the realm in global finance. And aren't we in the United States of America happy for that? That means that virtually all major acquisitions on a global level, be they commodities or even in bond prices, other thing, all done in dollar denominations, making it easy as pie for us to measure things and to acquire them with a clear understanding of value, right? Now, that value also extends on an international level. So now, whether it be in the developing world or in the developed world, it's also easier for them to make international acquisitions because virtually all of the global structures are dollar denominated. It also benefits us in the US in another very, very important way. In the post-World War II period, the United States of America has built up an enormous amount of debt. And each year, deficit financing becomes more and more of a challenge. Now, we are blessed that because so many persons and entities hold the dollar as their reserve currency on a global level, that keeps the value of the dollar remarkably stable, even as enormous amounts of debt is accrued, and even as the Federal Reserve creates digits and prints currency like crazy, we have not really seen the devaluing of the currency that would have happened if the dollar were not a global reserve currency. So we are very much blessed in the United States of America because of that. But wait, there are pretenders to King Dollar's throne, right? Well, who are these pretenders and what are their chances? Well, the first pretender I want to talk about is Prince Euro. Now, Prince Euro was created in the late 1990s as a creation of the Eurozone. Now, we have these countries in Europe that basically let go of their local currencies and to operate with a common currency that would be supported by their economies, right? The euro. And in fact, the euro has taken a significant portion of the dollar's place, at least as far as European acquisitions go. So the euro is in fact quite popular in Europe itself and in many of the periphery countries to Europe, in the East and even in the Middle East, right? Now, will or even can Prince Euro actually snatch the throne of global finance from King Dollar? Well, unlikely. Let me tell you why. Prince Euro has some problems in his family. And this problem relates to some of the nations that make up the southern portion of the Eurozone. And you know who I'm talking about: Greece, Italy, Spain. These are economies that have been and are teetering, right? And if their economies should collapse, that will basically knock them out of the Eurozone currency, which means that the new euro would basically be supported by Germany and France and the Low Countries. And that is bad news, right, for Prince Euro, right? That basically eliminates any chance of Prince Euro ever snatching the throne from King Dollar. But there are others. There is Prince Pound Sterling. Now, Prince Pound Sterling was once the global reserve currency back in the 19th century and early 20th century. But in the post-war period, King Dollar actually wrenched the throne from King Pound Sterling, and now King Pound Sterling has been reduced to a prince pretender to the throne. But it's still used, obviously, in the UK and also in at certain parts of the British Commonwealth. These nations in the Caribbean and parts of Africa, they actually prefer to do business in pound sterling as opposed to their local currencies. Their local currencies are crap, big time. So that is beneficial for them. Now, could Prince Pound Sterling ever retake the throne as a global currency? No, highly unlikely. Prince Pound the economy is just not as large. It simply could not take the throne from King Dollar, certainly not at this point. But wait, there is Princess Swiss franc. Now, in fact, Princess Swiss franc is more influential than many people in the United States of America know. I personally have friends in the motherland, Africa, and they tell me that many of the persons in high positions in the government and also in industry, they actually prefer to do most of their business in Swiss francs, right? And they also hold it as a reserve currency because they find the euro and the dollar and the pound sterling particularly suspicious, right? So there is Princess Swiss franc. There's also Princess Yen in Asia. Yes, the Japanese currency. Now, Princess Yen was once thought to be a definite usurper of King Dollar's throne. But when the Japanese economy was booming, especially the glory days of the 1970s and 80s, it looked like a done deal. The yen would be the world's new global reserve currency. But the Japanese economy has struggled markedly since the 1980s, and their government runs up debts that make the American debt look like child's play. And at this point, the Japanese economy in no way can compare to the American economy, and thus Princess Yen is done for as a possible global currency. But wait, there are possible third generation pretenders to the throne of King Dollar. Well, who are these third generation pretenders? Well, just recently, many of the French-speaking countries of Africa have agreed to join a regional African franc currency. Now, this is actually a very big deal. This makes up a very large portion of the motherland, and they will now have a common currency. Now, could this common currency ever challenge King Dollar? Highly unlikely. The African franc currency really has the same problem as the euro, right? Where you have some states that are much stronger than others. In fact, some of the states that make up the African franc currency are destitute, right? Just dire destitution make up their economies, and just no way they could ever be a global currency as far as the eye can see, right? So now there's this other possible third generation pretender to the throne. This is the Arabic dinar. Now, there is no Arabic dinar, at least not now, but many of the Arabic nations, they've kicked around the idea of forming a common currency. Now we're talking about a serious contender for a global reserve currency, right? So the Arabic dinar would basically be supported by the petroleum producing countries of the Gulf, right? Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, the UAE. Now, that portion of the Arabic dinar zone would be incredibly powerful, and yes, could very much be a contender as a global currency to King Dollar. But there's a problem, a big one, and that is that portion of the Arabic dinar zone would have to carry the dead weight of Jordan, Egypt, Yemen, and the other North African Arabic-speaking countries if they would be a part of the common currency. And then, of course, there's always the threat of political instability in the dinar zone, right? And then there's also the fact that petroleum prices are low. They may very well be going lower as many parts of the developed world switch to renewable energies. So I really think at this point, an Arabic dinar would not present a real threat to King Dollar. But wait, there's the third generation Chinese yuan, Prince Yuan. Now, could Prince Yuan present a threat to King Dollar? Possibly. I mean, after all, China is the second largest economy in the world. But as of right now, I find this very doubtful. Let's just be honest. China has a communist government. There are very few personal freedoms. It's authoritarian, really quite unstable, even though they put on the veneer of stability. I would not think that this currency could ever really challenge the throne of King Dollar. But wait, right? In this Game of Thrones structure, there are still other pretenders out there, right? And these pretenders would be the, shall we say, predecessors to the current king, right? So we'll call it the Grand Uncle Prince Gold, right? Now, Grand Uncle Prince Gold is in fact still a reserve currency in many parts of the world, including India, parts of Asia, and even in Latin America, and actually in the Western Hemisphere. It is a reserve currency. Now, could it ever challenge the dollar and actually come back and dethrone King Dollar? Doubtful. Gold has its own problems. It's just too volatile. You have other places in the world that they want to see a stable fiat currency, and gold just doesn't meet the bill. As would be the same situation for Dowager Queen Silver, right? Dowager Queen Silver is basically in the same boat as Grand Prince Uncle Gold. Highly, highly unlikely that they could ever challenge King Dollar for the throne again. But wait, there is actually rogue pretenders that are out there to violently take down King Dollar. Well, who would this be? This would be the cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and others. Could these rogue elements actually put together a rebellion, march on Washington and New York, and violently take down King Dollar? Well, as of this point, I would have to say no. These cryptocurrencies are too complex. They're extremely difficult to value. They do not have the ubiquity of the U.S. dollar as of this point, and thus, at least as far as the eye can see, I don't think they could ever challenge the dollar as a global reserve currency, right? So for right now, and I mean right now, it's still King Dollar reigns supreme. But the global medical crisis that has hit the world and the United States of America is making King Dollar look rather, shall we say, teetering. Maybe that's the best word I could come up with, or even vulnerable, right? The United States of America is running enormous deficits in order to deal with this crisis. And these deficits are actually going to get larger and larger in the out years, right? That is going to spark inflation, especially what the Federal Reserve is doing. And that puts King Dollar's throne very, very much in jeopardy, either by one of the pretenders or really by a combination of the pretenders slowly ripping away portions of his kingdom a piece at a time, right? So that's something to look out for. Well, anyway, I hope you found this particular video informative, right? If you have, smash that like button, right? Also, comment. Maybe I got something wrong. I've been known to do that. Please comment, correct me. I respond to each and every one, and I really appreciate it. And of course, subscribe, right? Subscribe. If I have to come and personally hunt down all of you viewers out there to get you to subscribe, that's what I'll do. Well, I probably won't do that, but subscribe anyway. All right. Thank you so much, and good luck.